There, in a small town, lived a clumsy but well-meaning magician named Marvin. Marvin was known for his magical mishaps that often led to hilarious situations. One sunny morning, Marvin decided to perform a magic show in the town square to entertain the townsfolk. As he set up his magical props, a crowd gathered, eager to see what Marvin had in store for them. Marvin began his show with a classic rabbit-out-of-a-hat trick. He reached into his magician's hat and pulled out a rubber chicken. The crowd burst into laughter as Marvin stared at the chicken in confusion. "Well, that's not what I was going for," he mumbled. Undeterred, Marvin moved on to his next trick, attempting to make a bouquet appear out of thin air. He waved his wand with dramatic flair, and instead of flowers, a flock of rubber ducks flew out of his hat and scattered in all directions. The children in the audience squealed with delight while the adults roared with laughter. Marvin, still determined to redeem himself, decided to levitate a volunteer from the audience. He picked a willing participant, pointed his wand, and chanted his incantation. To everyone's astonishment, the volunteer began to float, but he couldn't stop. The poor man floated higher and higher, screaming all the way until he was a tiny speck in the sky. Panic ensued in the town square as people pointed and stared at the disappearing volunteer. Marvin, frantic, tried to reverse the spell, but ended up making it worse. The man continued to rise until he was out of sight, leaving the crowd bewildered and the town buzzing with rumors of a man who had vanished into thin air. With his magical show turned into a chaotic comedy, Marvin decided it was best to wrap things up. He waved his wand one final time, creating a shower of colorful confetti that rained down on the audience. The townsfolk, still laughing, gave Marvin a round of applause for providing them with such unexpected entertainment. As for the floating volunteer, he eventually drifted back down to earth, landing safely in a nearby field, where he was found by a group of amazed farmers. Marvin's reputation as the town's bumbling but lovable magician was sealed that day, and he continued to bring laughter and joy to the town with his magical misadventures for years to come.